Okay.
I think there's
Just Facebook.
the same color. I
Yeah.
don't like the concept of color blindness.
It was Facebook?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are doing our morning devos from a different location, a change of scenery. This is Uncle Dave's cottage. Uncle Dave from Strathroy, the Ruby Lodge, Camp David, and we are here in Barry's Bay, well, outside of Barry's Bay, and we're gonna try and do it live. There's not much
Are you sure we're streaming?
There's not much cell reception, and we'll give you a little look around.
Yeah.
This is the
We don't
back
need to
of
do
the
all that.
cottage, and then that's the water. Look at that. Isn't it nice? So there's lots of distractions right now. There's lots of noises. There's,
I don't think it's streaming.
what do you have to say, Mrs. Ruby?
I don't think it's streaming.
Okay.
No?
It's streaming enough.
All right.
So we have a change of scenery. What's your favorite part of the change of scenery?
A change of scenery.
That is the
Whatever.
favorite part. You're sick of the change of scenery from the backyard to the front yard.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have fresh air out here. It seems very fresh. There's groundhogs living there with babies. There's all sorts of birds.
Don't tell Mark.
Yeah, Mark Ruby has,
No, Mark Van Cleef.
Mark Van Cleef
Mark does not.
has a little 10 by 10, they call them, what are they? Dotty houses? No.
Monkeys.
Bunkies. It's like a 10 by 10 shed that has a bed in it. And Mark and Beth have groundhogs under theirs. And apparently one got maimed and died under there and
Okay, what are you
caused
doing?
other problems.
Why are you telling me all this?
It's a groundhog story. I see him. He's poking his head out. All right, let's continue our spiritual lives. No one's had coffee. I don't know if that's obvious. We are on June the 18th.
Okay. Being vulnerable. Part of recovery means learning to share ourselves with other people. Yeah, live streaming for the whole world.
Yeah.
We learn to admit our mistakes and expose our imperfections, not so that others can fix us, rescue us, or feel sorry for us, but so that we can love and accept ourselves. This sharing is a catalyst in healing and changing. Many of us are fearful of sharing our imperfections because that makes us vulnerable. Some of us have tried being vulnerable in the past, and some tried to control, and people tried to control, manipulate, or exploit us, or they made us feel ashamed. Some of us in recovery have hurt ourselves by being vulnerable. We may have shared things with people who didn't respect our confidence, or we may have told the wrong people at an inappropriate time and scared them away. We learn from our mistakes, and despite our mistakes, it is still a good thing to allow ourselves to be vulnerable and honest. We can learn to choose safe people with whom to share ourselves. We can learn to share appropriately so we don't scare or push people away. We can also learn to let others be vulnerable with us. Today, God, help me learn to be appropriately vulnerable. I will not let others exploit or shame me for being vulnerable, and I will not exploit myself.
Yeah, I think vulnerability is a key to overcoming shame. And I think our stories are our most valuable possession. So we should hold them dearly and efficiently and effectively for the world around us when the appropriate time to share. Like we do Ashes Rubies. And you get people that have never shared and they share for 10 minutes. And it's so powerful to other people. And I know that when people share their stories at Ashes Rubies, we have conversations with people that we don't even know that said, oh, I can relate to that, or I'm stuck doing this, and I've never heard anybody share like that. And so I think our stories are great, and they're a valuable possession, and they bring people out of shame, brings yourself out of shame.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that it's a big thing to learn how to admit your mistakes and expose your imperfections and be willing to talk about it and not. I mean, a lot of times people will boldly say, like, I don't care what people think of me, but it's almost like a rebellious not caring, or like almost like trying to convince myself that I don't care. And I think that there's something sort of in the middle there that's a hard place to find, because I really, you know, I I I do care what people think, but I don't care what people think. And so I should kind of pay attention to the signals that are coming from the world around me. You know, if I have conflict everywhere, I need to pay attention to that. But also, I have to keep moving forward. I'm trailing.
Well, part of the 12-step process is sharing our experience, strength, and hope. And I think that we shouldn't just focus on our experience and just say, like, this is how bad it was. And I think we can glorify that at some level. But I think it's a line of transmission. And I think the most important part is sharing our spiritual experience, our hope that we have, that it's not up to the rest of the world to change, but we can change on the inside.
The
But it's very hard to be vulnerable, especially, like, I'm so used to it just because of the environment that I've worked in recovery for the last 14 years. But there are people in the corporate sector that get sober, and it's actually almost looked at, shunned, or a disability. There's for bosses that wouldn't trust people that are in recovery. So they have to keep it very low key. So I understand that tension. And so there's appropriate places, and yeah, that's all I have to say. I think it's important that we get outside of our little comfort zone, and our stories are our most prized possessions, but they're not for us to keep. I think at some level we get to practice giving them away. So,
well, and the neat thing is, like, when you talk out loud, there's something different that happens that when you just talk in your head.
that's
And
true.
so, or like with your spouse, right? And so we might be on a certain, like, cycle or pattern or whatever that happens with our spouse, but if we can get outside of that and find a safe person, and I think too, like, if we don't find a safe person right away, you know, if we talk to a friend and it doesn't feel comfortable, then we, like, can continue to look for a safe person. And then I think the difference too is, I remember in early years, I kind of, like, leaked all over the place. And so, like, I really had so much pain that I just wanted to get it out. And I think that was super uncomfortable for other people. I didn't have a lot of hope to share, or really any, I mean, health or healthy life lived. And so I think that was really, really uncomfortable for people. And so
People don't like to be vomited on.
Yeah. And so I felt like rejection, but I have to realize that I can look back now and realize that I was hurting so much, and it actually wasn't up to the other people around me to make me feel better. And that this has taken a long time. You know, there's so much healing that's happened, and it doesn't happen by myself in my house. It doesn't happen on my own or necessarily on the phone with my girlfriends. It happens with intentionality and with God.
I like it when you hear a speaker and they're going on and they're very intellectual, and then they throw in a story, and you're like, oh, wow, that was super, about their marriage or about their
Right.
kids, and they let you into their life. And I think that really, that vulnerability actually helps you remember and brings you into the greater story. So yeah, maybe if you've never shared your story, would you get the opportunity to pass on a little bit of hope to somebody else? Or maybe when Ashes to Ruby start, you could share your story on a stage in front of people, if that's ever going to happen again. I think it'll happen one day, soon. Anyway, have a great afternoon, a great day. We're going to try not to get too sunburnt, and yeah, have a good afternoon.